You know, one of those days, didn't waste the whole day. It took me the whole day to do this stupid project, which should have been a half an hour project, but ran into problems. So I've been really enjoying using the noise generator with my new spectrum analyzer because I don't have a tracking generator. The noise generator works really great, especially there's some built-in features of the spectrum analyzer that makes it super easy and super trivial to do. So anyway, so I thought, okay, I really like that noise source, but it's just kind of flopping around the breeze. Let me put it in a box. And I thought, well, I've already got a box, and I don't need more boxes, so maybe there's room for me to put in the noise source. So it already has a 12-volt supply in it, and the noise source needs a 12-volt supply. I've already got 2 amplifiers in there, but there's still room in there for something else. So I took the noise generator and I put it inside the box. And I thought, okay, I don't want the noise generator running while I'm using low noise amplifiers. So I'm going to put a switch in. So when I have the switch in this position, it powers up the noise source. And when I have the switch in this position, it powers up the low noise amplifiers. I thought, good. So I got some cabling and then drilled some holes and put it all together, and immediately doesn't work. First thing is that the noise source generated a harmonic around 1.5 gigahertz. It was just singing at 1.5 gigahertz. I don't know why. And so I go, okay, well, something went wrong. So I took the noise source out of the box and it went away. And I put it back in the box and it sort of was still there. And then I put the lid on the box and woo, it came back up again. And I went, oh, okay. There's some cavity effect inside the box where it's resonating inside the box. And I started moving things around. I started poking at this and that, and it just wasn't going away. And I thought, well, maybe that noise source needs to have a shield around it because it's just an open. It'd be nice if I had a can, like an RF can around the noise source. So I thought, well, I've got a machine shop. I'll go ahead and build one. So I designed a little cover. And so here I'll insert a photograph here showing my little block of aluminum that I milled out cavities. And then that little block of aluminum will mate on top of the board and act as a shield. And it's held in with 3 screws, and it should be all good. So I put it all together, more problems. Now it's oscillating at different frequencies. Oh my goodness. Now there's like other ways for it to resonate. So I took it apart. I went around and around and around and around. I finally figured out, oh, wait a minute. There's 3 screws holding it in, and those are the ground contacts, but they're up against solder resist, so I need to scrape the solder resist off so those 3 screws can mate to copper. So I did that, and things got a little better, but it was still acting really weird. So then I figured, okay, well, let's try some copper tape. You know, RF engineers, when in doubt, you grab the copper tape. So I figured out that actually, yeah, there was a seam that seemed to act like an antenna. And anyway, I put copper tape on 2 of the seams, and now it's all fixed up again. So I put it in the box. So let me show you it working. We have that low noise amplifier working. So there we go. I've got a nice trace from my antenna. So that's coming into here, and then this is going to the spectrum analyzer. So if I flip the switch, it turns off the power to the low noise amplifier. And so now we have the noise. So if I move the B and C over to the noise, now I've got the noise source. And that's working really good. Okay, let me show you how you can use the noise generator to sweep a filter. So this is the noise, and we want to have it a straight line. We want to normalize it. And on this spectrum analyzer, what you do is you go to trace B, and now this is being shown as trace B. We're going to average things. So we're going to turn on video averaging, which is sweep to sweep averaging. And so now it's a nice quiet line. We're going to go back, and we're looking at trace B. We're going to do view B. And let's see, let's do it again, update it, view B now, there we go. And so that's stored in memory, okay? And so I can turn it off, and I can go to, so now when I remove the signal, it's doing 100 frame averages, so it's going to go away. So now what we're going to do is put it back on. We're going to do normalization on, normalize position. So what it's doing is it's taking the B memory and subtracting A from it. And so you get a straight line. So it does the A minus, I think it's actually B minus A is what it's actually displaying here. It's what's in the B minus whatever is being displayed. So now we're getting a nice straight line. So if I put a filter in the circuit, we can see that we're doing that at 100. We're doing that at 100 averages. Maybe 100 averages is too much, so we're going to do averages of 10. Okay, that'll be better. And then we'll move the normalization line up. So there we go. So this was set to basically 0 dB as the normalization, and then this is what the filter looks like underneath it. And you can place that line anywhere you want to, just kind of like ref, amplitude ref. And so there you go. It sweeps that filter out. And if I remove it, boom, goes away. Put it back in. There it is. So it's a really nice way without a tracking generator to do sweeps and stuff. Yeah. So I think this new little box here is going to be a great companion to the spectrum analyzer.